Star Wars, one of the most famous franchises in the world. But did you know that there is more to Star Wars than the screen? Today, I will inform you on Star Wars Legends. First, we will discover what Star Wars Legends is. Then, we will look at Legends characters. And finally, we will find some differences between Star Wars Legends and canon. First, we will discover what Star Wars Legends is. To do that, we need to know what Star Wars is. According to Salem Press Encyclopedia 2019, the first Star Wars movie, Episode 4, A New Hope, came out in the Vietnam era, 1970. It was made by a producer named George Lucas. This movie was famous for its special effects. It used more special effects than any movie previously. It went back to the cliffhanger films like Buck Rogers and the old westerns. George Lucas was inspired by westerns and mythology to make his movies. According to Explore.ProQuest.com in 2019, the Star Wars industry has generated over $42 billion from the 1970s when it came out to now. Star Wars is also the first movie industry to make toys. Most toy companies made toys on TV shows, but not movies, because movies came and went, TV shows lasted longer. But Star Wars was such a big hit that the toy companies couldn't keep up with the demand. People would have to send in mail order catalogs, and the company would send a card back to them telling them when they could get their toy, because they just couldn't keep up with the orders. To put it into perspective, Star Wars action figures sell better than Barbies. Because the movies were so famous, books began to be written on them. This is how Star Wars Legends came about. According to Wikipedia 2020, Star Wars Legends encompasses every one of the licensed fictional background stories of Star Wars prior to the outcome of Star Wars canon. Also, any book with a Legends banner on it is counted as Star Wars Legends. Star Wars Legends spans from about 36,000 years BBY, which stands for Before Battle of Yavin, to about 140 years BBY. In April of 2015, Star Wars canon came out and Star Wars Legends became Legends, and not the expanded universe as it had been formerly known. Disney declared that Star Wars Legends was no longer correct and not canon, but the die-hard Star Wars fans still love Legends and read it and use it as a resource. Now, we will look at Star Wars Legends. Characters. Some cool characters from Star Wars Legends are Jacen Solo, Darth Revan, Corran Horn, and the Mandalorians. According to Wikipedia, March 9, 2020, Jacen Solo is the son of Han and Leia Solo. He has a twin sister named Jaina Solo and a little brother named Anakin Solo. Jacen Solo is a Legends version of Kylo Ren. According to the previous source, Jacen Solo was a Jedi hero during the Yusong Vong War. He ended that war by killing the Yusong Vong leader Supreme Overlord Onami. According to the previous source, years after that war, Jacen fell to the dark side and became Darth Caedus. His twin sister Jaina Solo killed him after he became a Sith Lord. According to the previous source, Darth Revan was a Jedi Knight who became a Sith Lord. He was born in around 3994 BBY. While he was a Sith Lord, he was betrayed by his apprentice, Darth Malak, because that was kind of what Sith did. According to the book Darth Revan by Drew Karpyshyn, when Revan was a Jedi Knight, he led a war against the Mandalorians. After defeating the Mandalorians, he was captured by the Sith Emperor Vitiate, who had lived for thousands of years and turned into Darth Revan. According to Wikipedia, March 9, 2020, Darth Revan returned to the light side and destroyed the Star Forge before he died. According to the previous source, Corran Horn was an X-Wing pilot for Rogue Squadron. He was also Force-sensitive, meaning he could use the Force. Corran married Mira Extrek and had 2 kids. He became a Jedi Knight during the Yusong Vong War and Second Galactic War. He was not your typical Jedi, for he could not use Force telekinesis unless under extreme pain. His skills lied more in mind manipulation and projecting images into people's brains. He served on the Jedi Council during these wars. According to an interview with Sean Connolly, March 10, 2020, the Mandalorians were a nomadic tribe. They also believed in no orphans. They adopted many of the orphans they found. The Mandalorians were not that formal, and their marriage ceremonies really weren't more than saying, "You are my wife," and vice versa. Adoption contracts were the same way. Although being nomadic, the Mandalorians had their own planet called Mandalore. Their leader was also called Mandalore. Revan led a war against them that killed many of the Mandalorians. Due to this, the Mandalorians became hateful towards the Jedi. Mandalorians were known for being the best bounty hunters and mercenaries, also called mercs. They hated Jedi, but would work for them if they paid the highest price. With some knowledge of the characters and what Legends is, let's move on to the next point. Finally, we will look at the differences between Star Wars Legends and Star Wars canon. According to an article on Comic Vine, April 3rd, 2015, Star Wars canon is composed of all of the movies and TV shows, Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir comic book series, and any Star Wars works released after that comic book unless it is specifically said to be Legends. First thing to note is that canon doesn't acknowledge Legends. However, Legends does acknowledge canon. A character that exists in the Legends universe does not exist in the canon universe unless that character is in the movies. However, a character that exists in the canon universe does exist in the Legends universe unless in a direct contradiction with an already established character. An example would be Exar Kun. In Legends, Exar Kun invented the Saber Staff, the type of lightsaber we see Darth Maul use in Episode 1, Phantom Menace. But in canon, Exar Kun doesn't exist, and because he doesn't exist, he didn't invent the Saber Staff. Because of this, there are many differences between the two universes. According to the previous interview, a big difference is Jacen Solo and Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is the canon version of Legends. In canon, Boba Fett died in the Sarlacc pit in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. In Legends, Boba Fett survived the pit and went on to have many books on it. In canon, Han Solo dies by Kylo Ren's hand. In Legends, it's Chewie who dies, and Jacen doesn't kill him. According to a blog on sci-fi.com by Carly Lane, December 21st, 2017, Leia Organa uses the Force to save herself in Episode 8, The Last Jedi. The article states how Leia is as powerful as Luke Skywalker. According to the previous interview, Leia was never that powerful in Legends. She did learn how to use the Force, but she never became as powerful or even as close to powerful as Luke was. And finally, canon states that Dooku is only the apprentice of Yoda, in the same sense that Yoda trained all of the young Padawans before they became full-fledged Padawans. They were called younglings before that. In Legends, Dooku was trained by Yoda in the same sense that Obi-Wan trained Anakin and Qui-Gon trained Obi-Wan. Star Wars, one of the most famous franchises, but did you know that there's more to Star Wars than the screen? Today, I told you about Star Wars Legends. First, we discovered what Star Wars Legends is. Then, we looked at some characters. And finally, we saw some differences between Star Wars Legends and Star Wars canon. Remember that the next time you watch a Star Wars movie, there's more to the story than the screen.